Hello, good random fans of Random Jules. I would like to talk to you today about something that I have just bought. It's this. It's obviously a chainsaw, as you keen-eyed viewers already see. But what makes this interesting is that if you take a closer look, there's only one tank in which you can pour some liquid in. And that is lubrication for the chain, i.e. there is no place to pour petrol in. Instead, it runs something that people in the 50s might have called a miracle of electricity. It has got this battery, which goes in like that. The first impression is that it looks very cheap. It feels very cheap, it's very light, it's very brittle, and it smells very cheap. And it sounds. The reason why I chose this particular saw, because I was looking at brands like Steel and Husqvarna, however you pronounce it, but I decided to take this because if it feels and smells and sounds and looks cheap, it is for simple reason it was very cheap. And it is down on power, because the same battery unit goes into drills and circular saws and lighting, and we already had a charger and we already had one battery unit. Now because it's down on power, the chain moves rather slowly. It rotates about 10 meters per second, where it is enough, but only just. And for pruning it's completely useless. It's just so jerky, it doesn't rotate fast enough. But that's cutting these sort of small trees here in this sort of thicket. And even you can cut at nearly as large as this blade goes. It will cut it. It takes a bit of time and patience, but of course there are issues with electric, especially battery-powered electric devices, because of the mining of the minerals and making of the electric stuff is usually done in China, which is in the current geopolitical situations not very advisable to pour your money in China. But this was made in Vietnam, although the battery is made in China. The engine is made in Vietnam. Now, but more to the point, and there are all sorts of human rights issues, of course, concerning on those sort of states. But reason why I choose to ignore all of that and buy this instead of a new internal combustion engine one is this. Now it's on. It's idling. And even when you saw, let's take this one here. Still won't need a hearing protection. It is advisable, there is quite a lot of noise. It's a lot noisier than I thought it would be, but still far better than internal combustion engine would be. And the point is, now that I have gotten it, I can browse around, move around. It doesn't waste any energy, and it's right now here. So there's no rush to move to the next target and cut it down. You can just take your time, because you should never do anything in haste in here. Just always think things through. What if I cut this one down here? Or you have to look all the way up to the tree if there's a moss or lichens or anything growing on it. or there's interesting branches where the birds can nest or whatever. So you always aware of what you do here. One thing is the user ergonomics here, because you have to push this one down and then you can press the accelerator, so to speak. This requires certain type of hand positioning, which is all well and good when the conditions are ideal. It works then, but then you have to twist it and turn it, which obviously you have to sometimes do. Then it becomes a bit trickier than normal saws in steels and Husqvarnas. There's just button here which you can push and then you can press the accelerator, but here you have to pull it, so it makes a little bit of an effort. Very easy to adjust the chain. Just this is the tightening nut, this is the tends to get a bit loose, so you have to check it every once in a while, but make sure whenever you move about or touch the blade you have this on, because it cuts the engine off. Nothing happens. There you go. Strong recommendation. If you do the sort of more as a job, you might want to buy larger engine one. There's available in 36, I think 36 volts was the bigger one in this brand, but there's also brands like Stihl and Husqvarna which make electric saws, which might be a bit more quality work. Now this brand does make quite a lot of electric gadgets, so I think they might have had this down. I sort of hope this will last at least a decade, but I know that the battery packs won't last a decade, that's certain, but the saw itself, because we still have the internal combustion engine chainsaw in use in our house from last century, I suppose. Yeah, it must have been from last century, 19 something, and it still works. Rather iffily, but still works. So I'm hoping at least 20 years. Now there's a 3-year warranty, so at least 3 years. Let's hope. So, yeah, I would recommend. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna continue making the firewood. Oh yes, one other drawback. The battery seems to run out pretty rapidly, but there is light system here. When you press this button you can see there's 3 more bars left. So remember to check that out every once in a while.